Wednesday, so you know what time it is. It's time for your Wednesday word. Word. Anyway, jumping right in. The topic today is titled Hiding from Mistakes. And man, let's just get into it. What I mean by hiding from mistakes is really many of us were, last time I checked at least, all of us that were watching this are human. And humans tend to not be perfect. Humans tend to make these things called mistakes. Sometimes we call them accidents, missteps, whatever. The thing is that for myself and oftentimes many of the people that I see, we attempt to hide from our mistakes. Whether we attempt to hide from them by lying about it, by not mentioning them, by ignoring them, by trying to clean them up quietly, whatever it may be, we attempt to hide from these mistakes. And what I've been finding lately in life, for myself at least, in the mistakes that I've made, because even though I do videos every week, I do still make mistakes. That's just a part of life that will always be. But what I'm finding about the hiding from mistakes that I used to do, I don't really do it that often anymore, is that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of stress that is built up when you spend time hiding from mistakes, when you spend time avoiding being found out by your peers or found out by your friends or your family or your coworkers. And so what I've kind of committed to, not kind of, what I've committed to, because you don't kind of commit, what I've committed to is not hiding from mistakes, is actually being transparent. Good morning, Tabitha. The commitment is that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm committed to making mistakes because I'm committed to taking risks. I'm committed to not being perfect. But the secondary commitment is being transparent about those mistakes. Now, as I always tell people, I'm a very open person, but I'm also a very private person. They kind of battle for dominance in my life. I'm not saying that you need to go and share all your business or throw all your mistakes out on the table, but what I am saying is you can't hide from the mistakes that you've made, but what you can do is you can learn from the mistakes you've made. So I was thinking about this topic, and I was thinking about, the process of hiding. When I was younger, we used to play hide and go seek. You would pick a good hiding spot so that nobody would find you, and then you try to get to base safely while nobody was looking. But then it led me to start thinking about when you're hiding, you're not able to see the outside world as well as you would if you were standing in it. And a lot of times when we are attempting to hide our mistakes, what we do is we hide like what I would think an ostrich hides like, or what they say ostriches hide like. Ostriches stick their head into the sand and they bury their head. But if you know the size of an ostrich's head is very small and compared to the size of the ostrich body, which is still standing on top of the ground. So from our standpoint, or from my standpoint, when we try to hide from our mistakes, we stick our head in the ground. And so we can't see what's going on around us. Unfortunately, our body, our life, our mind, the stressors that take place from the mistake, those are still exposed. And because they're exposed, we're still getting hit and slammed by whatever the mistake is bringing. I mean, not all mistakes are life-altering, but some mistakes are pretty big mistakes. And because we're still getting hit and beat up, but our head is in the sand, we miss the lesson that the mistake is designed to bring. See, it's inevitable that you're going to have mistakes in life, that you're going to make mistakes in life. That's inevitable. But what is not inevitable is if you're not paying attention to the mistake, that you won't be able to learn from it. You won't be able to experience the mistake in its fullness. It's almost like having a eyes wide open experience. Because your eyes are wide open and your senses are available to absorb the experience, you can then go back and replay and say, here's where I could have done better. Here's where this mistake took form. Here's where the opportunity to make a better decision was ignored. Whatever it may be, you can glean that information when your head's up and you're saying, "Hey, look, I made a mistake. I'm responsible. I'm accountable to this, and I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can from it." That's the position you want to be in with your mistakes. Don't fear them. Don't be afraid of them. Don't run from them. And I'm not saying run into mistakes, but don't run from them once you've committed them. It's a matter of saying, okay, I've made a mistake. How do I be accountable? How do I be present? How do I glean enlightenment from that mistake and move forward in life? That's what it really should be about. The second thing is that came to mind when thinking about this was that trying to hide mistakes is almost like being in a burning house, hiding under the blankets, hoping the fire won't get you. Yeah, unfortunately, the blanket is not strong enough to shield you from the fire. Just like trying to hide from the mistake, eventually what happens is it comes out in an inopportune time. And then the mistake ends up not only costing you from the initial standpoint, it ends up costing you further down the road. There's a lot of things in my life I'm not happy about, that I'm not proud of, but I do share those things with people because I feel like people have the right to know who they consider their friend. People have a right to consider who they consider their child's godfather. People have a right to decide or consider who they have as a coworker. That's the right that they have. And me hiding mistakes or hiding missteps that I've made in my life takes that right away from them. And if they find out that there's a mistake that was substantial on their part, that they could have avoided, or that they may not have chose to link up or be friends or do whatever, if they find that out later, then it has a very significant deterioration of the relationship, because it's like, I feel like you should have told me this so that I could have made the decision to walk around with somebody I know who's done this before. Lastly but not least, when you hide from mistakes, you are in essence hiding a mistake. And when you hide a mistake, what you are in essence hiding is you're hiding the solution. One of my favorite quotes, and I don't know if somebody made this up or I made this up, but I feel like I made this up. We'll see. If you know who made this up, say something. But one of my favorite quotes is that shame hides the mistake, but it also hides the solution. We allow our shame to kind of put us in this capsule to capsulate our experiences and not share our experiences, not realizing that sharing the fact that you're human and you make mistakes can be life-altering to somebody who's going through either the same, similar, or upcoming circumstances. That is how I feel. So when I say hiding from mistakes, the thing I'm saying is really we should not be hiding from our mistakes. We should understand, forgive ourselves that we make mistakes, understand that we make mistakes, forgive ourselves for making the mistake, learn from the mistake, and then make a solid commitment if it's a bad mistake to not do the mistake again. Some things are habitual, but that just means habitual. If you have habitually bad habits, then that means you have to work to not do the bad habits. It's okay to have bad habits if you're working not to do them. So that's where I'm at today. That's what I'm thinking. Definitely coming from a place of gratitude, happiness, humbleness, and just looking forward to experiencing life and being quick to forgive myself for the mistakes that I make. I hope that you guys can also forgive me for the mistakes that I make, and forgive yourselves for the mistakes that you may make. But that's really what it comes down to for me is making sure that I'm not putting myself in a position or a light that makes you perceive that I'm perfect. I want you to perceive me as human, because that's far more important. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in live. If you like this video, share this video. If you share it, please like it. I'm always happy to engage with you guys in the comments below. Other than that, it's Wednesday. I have to get to work. I'll see you guys in 7 days. One love, First Row. Peace.